All right, I'm back with another read. So this one is Isis, the Divine Female, and uh, I didn't buy this. I think my husband got it for me, and I've been telling him lately to get like used books because save that coin. We got the same coin. Don't go all out. Don't go all out. But anyway, so I think this was from like thrift books or something like that online. And I did really, really enjoy this book. It was a little like my little antennas were going up. Like, are you telling me the truth, sir? I'd be so leery on people when it's not like, I don't know, even Black authors. I guess I was gonna say when it's not a Black author, but even Black authors sometimes. I don't know, I don't be trusting people, I don't be trusting them. But I think this was a good book. It sparked me to want to research more, which I'm calling myself researching by reading these books, but I think I need to dig a little deeper. The one book I have not read is the Book of the Dead. And I think that would help me. And it's probably going to end up being like I do have it, which I don't know why I haven't read it. But it's probably going to be like the last book that I read. And then for some reason, it should have been the first. Like, I don't know. I didn't think I needed to read it. But then it's like, then I don't trust what these people are saying. So I don't know. Anyway, this book was pretty good. I think some of the stuff I did not agree with. I'm just like, whatever. But I think the way that he explained things, semi made sense, but then semi made me like, I don't like it. But me not liking it cannot be like if it's real, it's real, and if it's not. You know what I mean? So whether I like it or not, if it's real, if it's true, which I don't know if it is, that is just his perspective, then it is true. But he's just like explaining everything from like Isis, who is all set, and again he recognizes in the book, and I hate when they don't keep doing the right thing, but he does talk about how I guess more so in the Western society culture type thing I don't know if it's just in the West or if it's kind of like everywhere, but anyway, like I'll just say like in the West, that we perceive it as such a way. So he said, I'm going to write in the terms that are like this so that I guess so people could understand and they didn't have to like use so much brain power to like shift their perspective. So if he's just like constantly calling her offset, I guess that would be one of those things. But I just super hate when that happens, when we're using her Greek and Roman name versus her Egyptian name when we're referring to her in Egypt. So anyways, he's just talking about that, like, it is a known fact that she absorbed all these deities' powers and things like that. So he's not saying that she's like the all source or whatever, because there is like this thing called the all within the community. I don't think it's so much in the Egyptian community, but I think the Hellenistic community, which is more like Rome, Greece, and they like borrow from Egypt kind of thing. I think that's how it goes. I'm not in it, so I don't know exactly, but I think that's how it goes. So anyways, he's just talking about how she absorbed all these things, and even like in the books, the book that I read last month about her, which should be like a few videos before this, the lady was just talking about how she absorbed all these things, but he's just saying they're like different aspects of her, they're different sides of her personality, which could make sense and explain like why she absorbed, instead of her absorbing it, she's just expressing herself in different ways and stuff like that, as we all do as humans. But I thought this brought like a lot of perspective, I guess, to that train of thought type thing, as far as like meditating and seeing like what it is type thing. What am I trying to say? Like your spirituality and stuff like that. And for me, that just makes me want to go sit on my altars and like meditate, because the only way to know is to reach out to feel the cosmic energy, the cosmic flow, get to know these you know energies. I'm just gonna say energies, get to know these energies better, and what that looks like for you. kind of thing. That's how I feel personally after reading this book. I think that it's written in a way where you would kind of, whoever reads it is going to take different, things from it, because it's all about where you are on your spiritual journey. I think sometimes that's why it's hard for me to understand some books and things like that. Um, because maybe they're not meant for my level that I'm on, because I am still like, I've been doing this since, let's just say 2020, because like more so like the end of 2019. So I'll just say 2020. And I'm still learning like so much. Like I have a huge foundation, but I'm still learning, and I feel like there's just so much to learn. And the best way to learn it is just to like put it in action, and like I said, be on your altar, meditate and things like that. Um but I'm like horrible at it. Like when I first started, I meditated so much. Like I was just like trying to like I needed answers today. But now I'm seeing that it is a journey and not a sprint. We're always evolving, we're always changing. Um and that goes with something that I want. Like I have some of like my top books that I like loved when I read them, and that's one thing that I'm trying to also do, is get back to rereading some of those books, because now it's like however long later, and I want to see if my perception changed, if I understand things better, if I missed something when I'm reading those books and stuff. So I have been trying to like slow down on buying books. I can never do like a book ban, because like the impulse control is not there. But I am trying to slow down on purchasing books, and just more so like if I see something that I really want, versus like I go to the library a lot, like I'm in there weekly. And I'm trying to get better at not doing that, because if I then I see something that looks interesting and I'm like, oh, it's only $1, I can get this, or it's $2 or whatever. And so I'm just like then impulse buying, versus like kind of more so like researching, or like this is spot on what I want to read type of thing. So I'm trying to get more into just reading the spot on books, and then finishing out my TBR so that that could be done. Once that's done, like I won't worry about like impulse buying, but I at least want to get through my TBR. It's way bigger than I thought it was. But so yeah, so I'm just like kind of getting those perspectives and things from reading books like this, which sounds probably odd, but it just makes you see things in a different light. I think that he probably researched pretty good. I really, really wish that he would have wrote it in the way that it's meant to be written, because it's like, oh, this perception of this is wrong, and that, and like, so I want to know what the real perception is, because I think that would help me more, and I would rather use my brain power to switch over to that than to just continue to read like the so-called like false narratives or whatnot, or make it digestible for people. Y'all know who I'm talking about. For certain people or whatnot, I want the real deal of what's going on. And I would think that would be the purpose of writing a book like this. Not to say that he lied or like fluffed anything or anything like that, but I just feel like when we don't have the right words and stuff, like it makes it way different than what it's supposed to be. Like in some of these books, like I know in the other book that I was reading about Aset, and they're calling her Isis, and then she's trying to do like root, and I'm like, but her name is not Isis there. Like, how do you are like, you're not telling me that you're trying to do the root word of Aset. You're telling me that you're trying, like, I in my mind, if you're calling her Isis, then you're doing the root word of Isis, and it makes things different. It makes the perception different of what's going on. And I just want the real, true perspective of what it is, and the learning. And I'm assuming the only way that I'm like looking at everything in this room. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm everywhere. I'm assuming that the only way that I'm going to get that information is to like I said, sit and meditate and hope that I find the answers within. But this is a book that I would say is worth the read. It's only 124 pages. I read 100 in one day, and then it got really late. and then 24 in another. I could have read this book in one day, but I had went out to go run errands and stuff. And so then by the time I got back home, it was later in the day and I was tired. But even still, with all that, I was able to read 100 pages. So this is definitely a book, like, if you're a reader, and you don't have to be a quick reader, because I read slow, y'all. I read slow, but I read. So you don't have to be like this super fast reader or anything like that. And you can still get through it in a day. But yeah, so that's it on this book, and until the next one. Bye.